Hi, my name's Benjamin Dean, and I'm the author of Me, My Dad, and the End of the Rainbow, which I have right here. It's a brand new, shiny copy, looks very fancy and gorgeous. It's my debut book, and it's all about Archie Albright, who's 12 years old, and he knows that his parents are keeping a secret from him. He doesn't know what that secret is, because there wouldn't be a story if he did. But the book is all about him going on a journey to try and figure out what's wrong, and when he does find out what's wrong, what he can do to fix it. He's accompanied by his two best friends, Belle and Seb, who will do almost anything to support him in any way that they can, just as friends do. And yeah, it's a book that's all about love and family and friendship and being proud of who you are. I'm going to do a really short reading for you now, just so you get an idea about what to expect. It's going to be right from the beginning of the book, so the very, very first chapter. And the very first chapter, if I can find it here, is called Some Secrets to Tell. So you're standing in the bookshop reading this, right? Or maybe you've just unwrapped this book for your birthday in front of all of your friends, and you've quickly flicked to the first page to see what kind of story you're in for. Well, can you do me a favour before we get started? I need you to look over your shoulder. Your right shoulder or your left shoulder, it doesn't really matter which one. But I need you to look over one of them and double check that nobody is behind you. If there's one thing I know about people, it's that they are all very curious. And by that, I mean they don't know how to mind their own business. Okay, so the coast is clear. Good, because I'm about to tell you some of my most secret secrets, and I don't want just anybody reading them. But before I tell you my secrets, you have to promise not to tell anybody else. Not one single soul, I mean it. This has to stay between us, okay? Also, it's probably best that your parents don't know you're reading this book. I don't want them to think that I'm giving you any bad ideas. This book is a little adventure, sure, but I don't want you getting in any trouble. I'm Archie, by the way. Archie Albright. I would tell you my middle name, but I'm not sure I trust you that much just yet. Maybe later. Right, so the first secret. I'm actually 4 feet 7 inches tall. Yes, I told Amber Patel that I was 4 feet 9 inches tall, and yes, that was a lie. But I didn't think she'd be my friend if I said I was 4 feet 7 inches tall, because caveman Kyle is exactly 5 feet tall, and everybody wants to be his friend. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why the first thing I ever said to Amber Patel was, "Hi, I'm 4 feet 9 inches tall," but I can't take it back now. Fortunately, my two best friends in the world, Seb and Belle, know my true height and don't hold it against me. In fact, they know all my secrets, even the ones I can barely admit to myself. The three of us have been friends for a year now, since Belle joined our school from one up north, as Dad puts it. Before she came to Valegate High, it was just me and Seb, blundering through life together. I'm glad there's three of us now. The second secret is pretty much why I'm telling you all of this in the first place. It's important to the story, but it makes me cringe to think about, even now. You see, my mum and Dad kind of hate each other. They try to pretend that they don't when I'm in the room, but they're not very good at hiding it. Adults love to think that us kids are dumb, but half the time we know way more than they give us credit for. Mum and Dad haven't always hated each other. In fact, they used to be in love. Not that you would know it now. According to my gran, they met on Dad's 21st birthday, when Dad still had a giant afro that he cared for more than anything in the world. When he tried to say hello, he tripped over and poured his drink, which was blood red, down Mum's dress, which was white and brand new. If you ask me, that sounds exactly like something Dad would do. He can be really clumsy. Mum is a foot or so shorter than Dad, even when she's up on her tiptoes. But in all the photos they've collected over the years, she looks even smaller thanks to Dad's afro. Back then, Mum wore clothes that made her shoulders look bigger than they were, and her hair was blown out into these dark brown curls that fell all around her face, framing it like a picture. Now it's always tied back, because Mum thinks it just gets in her way otherwise. While Mum still looks something like the pictures she had saved in the family photo albums, Dad couldn't look more different. He shaved off his hair the same year I was born. He used to say that it fell out from the stress, a joke that made Mum laugh no matter how many times he told it. He wears glasses now too, although only when he reads, and not all the time like he should, which Mum nags him about because his eyesight will only get worse. She used to nag him about it anyway. She doesn't so much anymore. Anyway, they were in love and now they're not. Even though Dad moved out and they rarely talk unless it's about me, Gran says they still love each other deep down, and I think that's true. I'm still getting used to this weird new normal, even if it sometimes feels like a storm cloud is floating over my head. I see Dad all the time for our weekly arcade trips and video game nights, but it still makes my heart jump when he drops me off at home and drives away to his new house. The final secret I have to tell you is something really important, so I hope I can trust you to keep it to yourself. What happened next? It was all my fault. Sure, Seb and Belle had their say in the matter, but the whole idea was mine and I dragged them into it. They just came along because they're my best friends, and that's what best friends do. It wasn't even Oscar or Dean's fault, though Mum and Dad would disagree on that specific point. If I have one criticism of them both, it's that they really should have been paying more attention. But I guess I dragged them into this whole mess too, so yeah, I take the blame for everything. Well, almost everything. I just needed to get that off my chest. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm even telling this story very well. So I think I'd better go back to the point where this all started, because that seems like the most obvious place to begin a story. It was the middle of the night. No, really it was. I'm not just saying that for dramatic effect. And it suddenly hit me that things were starting to get a little weird. So that's the very first chapter of Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. At the very beginning of the book, Archie knows there's something wrong and he's talking directly to the reader and trying to explain what the situation has been to get to this point. And it's the very, very beginning of the story, and there is an adventure and a secret waiting to be unearthed. But I won't tell you what that is. I don't want to ruin the surprises for you. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoy the book when you get your hands on it. Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow comes out February 4th. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon.